What a different view we have today. Yesterday was so rainy and overcast. It's supposed to get that way this afternoon again. So while it's clear, we are going to head to...
Take the exit on the left to I-5 North toward Seattle.
We're going to head to the Space Needle.
For the most part, it's really quite easy to get around in Seattle. Our GPS didn't get most of the one-way streets correct, but other than that, it didn't feel like we were driving in a big city. Parking was very easy to find.
Everything is down due to COVID, at least in this part of Seattle. We weren't expecting this because everywhere we went yesterday, as far as coffee and restaurants, was open. So we've been searching for a coffee shop near the Space Needle, and it's been getting desperate. So we finally found a McDonald's open, but we can't go into the McDonald's. But hey, I am just so thankful to get a cup of coffee.
Before entering the Space Needle, we had to turn around twice in UV sanitation portals. We weren't allowed to talk while we were in the elevator.
Please, no talking on the elevator for the next 41 seconds. We're going up at 10 miles an hour, up to 520 feet in the air. We're going to be doing that in approximately 41 seconds.
The view of the city and surrounding areas was really spectacular. It was clear when we first got to the top, so we were able to see both the Olympic and the Cascade Mountains.
Well, we're here in the Space Needle, and it is so windy up here. It's so rocky. Hardly any wind down on the ground, was there, Suzanne? I mean, it's just kind of incredible. I heard of a guy flying a drone, and his drone crashed into the Space Needle and caused some problems. And we're 500 feet up, which is just a little bit higher than a drone normally goes. You can take a drone up even 400 feet above the Space Needle if you had authorizations and everything. But the wind up here is so incredible, no wonder. The strength would just throw a drone right into this thing. You'd have no control over it.
Fortunately, it was sunny for most of our time at the Space Needle. It rained for just a bit, but cleared before we walked down to see the glass floor on the lower level. I can't look down, so why am I even doing this? Okay, I did it. I've had enough. The beautiful Chihuly Gardens and Glass is next door to the Space Needle. It displays the works of artist Dale Chihuly. Guess who's working? He was working up on top of the Space Needle too. We we really usually do the very inexpensive things or the even free things, and we find that's usually the best experience that we have. But I have to say, this was really worth the money. To do both the Space Needle and the gardens was $100. It was $50 each for each of us. But we have really, really enjoyed this. I hate that we're having to rush through the outside part, but it's raining pretty hard right now. The monorail is also very close to the Space Needle. Did you pay for me? Monorail. We just rode the end. It was $6 for two of us, and then the driver goes to the front, and we're going to go back the other way. It's not far at all, maybe, I don't know.
2 miles maybe if that.
Yeah, it's definitely more than $1 a minute, I would say, but it's worth it. It's fun, and we're tourists, so. Feels like we're gonna tip over.
I don't remember the lead the last time. That afternoon, we took the ferry to Bainbridge Island.
Look at that, it's cleared up again.
One thing we learned about Seattle is that you can't let the rain determine your itinerary. We had seen Seattle from the sky that morning. Now we were seeing it from the water.
I don't know if I've ever been on a ferry this big before. Okay, we've got to do the Badger now. I wonder how this compares to the Badger that crosses Lake Michigan. If anyone watching this knows, please let us know in the comments. And if anyone has ever taken an RV on the Badger, we are interested in knowing about that as well.
Bainbridge Island is so beautiful and interesting. We wish we would have had more time to explore.
We just stopped at this little coffee kiosk on Bainbridge Island. Super friendly and very good coffee.
Look at this. I love this car. I am not even steering this thing. We're just driving down the road. I get a little nervous, but it was correcting itself, so probably drives better than I do.
Definitely. Mexican restaurant on Bainbridge Island, and we found out that things aren't closing down today, they're closing down tomorrow. We were told in Seattle that it was today, and most things in Seattle were shut down. But we feel so badly for these people. There's definitely a different attitude, and you can just sense a sadness and a fear, because they're going to be locked down for quite a while.
We had some of the best Mexican food we ever had at Isla Bonita. If you visit this island, get the chocolate lava cake with raspberry ice cream. It's at Mora's. Do you remember when we were in Key West and it was so hot outside and we had key lime pie and we just dug into it, all of us and the 3 girls in the back seat? Now it is so cold outside. I tried sitting on a chair and it hurt.
I have fallen in love with Bainbridge Island. I want to come back and camp here for 2 weeks at least.
If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our YouTube channel to follow more of our adventures.